Ricotta and lemon zest toast. Trust me, it's so good, you'll forget all about that island fantasy, well, maybe. Let's start with the ingredients. You'll need 4 slices of your favorite bread. I prefer sourdough, but hey, who am I to judge if you want to use that sad, neglected whole wheat loaf? 1 cup of ricotta cheese, full fat because life's too short for skim, zest of 1 lemon. Make sure it's actually a lemon this time, not like when my darling husband tried to substitute an orange and wondered why the dish tasted funny. 2 tablespoons of honey, or more if you're having one of those days, a pinch of sea salt, and some fresh mint leaves for garnish. Optional add-ons include a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, a sprinkle of red pepper flakes for those who like it spicy, like my mother-in-law's comments about my housekeeping, or a handful of fresh berries if you're feeling fancy. Now let's talk prep time. This recipe is quicker than my kids' mood swings, taking only about 10 minutes from start to finish. It's perfect for breakfast, brunch, or even a light lunch if you're feeling rebellious. All right, let's get cooking. First, toast your bread slices until they're golden brown and crispy. You want them sturdy enough to hold up to the ricotta, not floppy like my husband's excuses for forgetting our anniversary. While the bread is toasting, grab a bowl and mix together the ricotta, lemon zest, honey, and a pinch of sea salt. Blend it until it's smooth and creamy, kind of like how I smooth over arguments between the kids, except this actually works. Once your toast is ready, generously spread the ricotta mixture on each slice. Don't be shy, pile it on. This isn't the time for restraint. Save that for when you're resisting the urge to accidentally shrink your husband's favorite shirt in the wash. Now, if you're using any of the optional toppings, this is the time to add them. Drizzle with olive oil, sprinkle with red pepper flakes, or artfully arrange some berries on top. Make it Instagram-worthy, because we all know if it's not on social media, it didn't happen, right? Finally, tear up a few fresh mint leaves and scatter them over the top. It adds a pop of color and freshness, kind of like how I feel after dropping the kids off at school and having 5 minutes of silence in the car. And voila! Your ricotta and lemon zest toast is ready to be devoured. The taste is a perfect balance of creamy, tangy, and sweet. The ricotta provides a rich, smooth base, while the lemon zest adds a bright, citrusy kick. The honey brings just the right amount of sweetness, and the sea salt enhances all the flavors. If you added the optional toppings, you might get a peppery heat from the red pepper flakes or a burst of fruitiness from the berries. Now let's talk nutrition because we all pretend to care about that, right? This toast is actually not too bad on the health scale. Ricotta is a good source of protein and calcium, while the lemon zest provides a dose of vitamin C. The bread gives you some carbs for energy, and if you used whole grain, you're getting some fiber too. It's not exactly a kale smoothie, but it's not a chocolate cake either. Let's call it a delicious middle ground. If you're looking to make this recipe a bit healthier, you could use low-fat ricotta, but honestly, where's the fun in that? You could also swap the honey for a sugar-free alternative, but then you'd be missing out on the natural goodness of honey. And let's be real, after dealing with morning tantrums and lost homework, you deserve some real honey. Now, if you're feeling adventurous, there are plenty of ways to switch this recipe up. You could use goat cheese instead of ricotta for a tangier flavor. Or swap the lemon zest for orange or lime zest. You could even go savory by omitting the honey and adding some cracked black pepper and fresh herbs like basil or thyme. Oh, and here's a pro tip. If you're making this for a crowd, like that PTA meeting you got roped into hosting, you can prepare the ricotta mixture in advance and store it in the fridge. Just toast the bread and assemble when you're ready to serve. It's a great way to look like you have your life together, even if you were up until 2 a.m. binge-watching that new Netflix series. Speaking of having your life together, let me tell you about the time I tried to make this recipe while on a family vacation. Picture this, a tiny rental kitchen, sand everywhere, and I mean everywhere, and my husband deciding it was the perfect time to teach our 5-year-old how to play the harmonica. Let's just say the lemon zest ended up in places lemon zest should never be, and we all learned that ricotta doesn't pair well with sunscreen. But back to the recipe. If you're wondering what to serve with this toast, it pairs beautifully with a cup of coffee or tea. If you're feeling fancy, try it with a mimosa or a Bloody Mary. It's also great with a side of fresh fruit or a small green salad if you're trying to be healthy, or at least appear healthy to judgmental relatives. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes to avoid. First, don't oversaturate your toast. You want it to maintain some crunch, not turn into a soggy mess reminiscent of my last attempt at camping in the rain. Second, be careful not to overzest your lemon. We want a hint of citrus, not a mouthful of furniture polish. And finally, don't forget the salt. It might seem odd in a sweet dish, but that tiny pinch makes all the flavors pop. In terms of equipment, you don't need anything fancy for this recipe. A toaster, a mixing bowl, a zester or fine grater, and a spreading knife are all you need. See? Sometimes simple is best. If only the same could be said for assembling kids' toys on Christmas Eve. So there you have it, folks. A simple, delicious recipe that's sure to brighten your morning, or at least distract you from the mountain of laundry calling your name. Remember, cooking should be fun, even when it feels like you're one burnt toast away from a total meltdown. And if all else fails, there's always cereal. Happy cooking, and may your toast always be crispy, and your kids' tantrums few and far between.